the scene of one of the most devastating landslides in the country's recent memory. The death toll as at this morning stood at 37, while 22 were still missing. Efforts are ongoing to locate those unaccounted for, and NTV's Lois Wangoi and Nganga are on the scene from one of the 3 villages that were affected by the landslides. And she joins us live. Lois, what do we know right now?
Good afternoon to you, and indeed we are coming to you live from one of the villages that was badly hit by a landslide, that is Narkulian village. It is one of the 3 which were badly hit by a landslide here in West Pokot County that has so far claimed 37 lives, if a statement by the area county commissioner, Mr. Apollo Okello, is anything to go by. And at this particular point, we can see how the landslide occurred after a very heavy downpour that lasted for close to 48 hours. Residents tell us that most of the ground here could not contain the waters, and yesterday early in the morning the waters caved in and the landslide swept an entire part of this Narkulian village where we are standing. Residents tell us that about 3 households were swept away, and indeed the lives in those households, and we understand that according to the residents here, they note each household had a number of about 5 persons, so you can imagine the number of deaths that occurred beneath this carpet of mud that is here right now. And the residents say most of them have quickly or have now abandoned this particular village for fear of losing their lives, because huge amounts of rainfall is still being experienced here. But this is one of the parts that was badly hit by that particular landslide, and we can see from upstream to downstream how that particular landslide moved, and in the process of taking its natural course, it swept away households, 3 households in particular. And the residents here tell us they had quite a number of fatalities, most of them saying between 7 to 15 persons may have lost their lives here. But we confirm from the residents that they have since been able to recover 7 bodies from this particular point. Rescue operations have since sort of stalled. Residents say they have put in all they could have done, and they are awaiting response perhaps from the security team. Remember yesterday CS Interior had noted that members of the KDF would be here to also assist the residents in searching for the missing persons, who stand at a number of 24. And so at the moment residents have moved to areas of safety, and even when we landed here at Narkulian village, they were very adamant about bringing us to this particular point. Of course, whatever happened here was very traumatic to them, and because yesterday night they also experienced heavy downpour, most of them still feel this particular place is not very, very safe. The landslide, of course, put the country into such a somber mood. Of course, the president leading fellow countrymen condoling with the residents of West Pokot County. About 37 persons in this particular landslide. We the neighboring villages of the residents have also moved to areas of safety to avoid await more response of the government and machinery in trying to rescue or even look for more bodies of the 24 persons that are missing. Very briefly, before I take you back to Nairobi, I want to speak to like 2 residents who have brought us to this particular spot for them to give us a picture and a feel of what happened and how the people of Narkulian village are coping up. Asanteni sana. Naona tutaanza na wewe. Karibu hapa. Utatuelezea kisa kama hichi mumewahi kushuhudia mara nyingine, ama hata mababu zenyu waliwahi kushuhudia, na je, hofu ambayo imetanda hapa katika kijiji cha Narkulian iko vipi?
Hakuna, tuliona bande wa Mwino. Hapa ni Narkulian sublocation. Sasa tuko Lulu no primary school. Tujawahi kuona kitu hata kuangalia na babu. Tujawahi kuona, na tumepoteza mali mingi. Hii vijana sijui wataenda shule lini, kwa maana watapangua shule kesho na tumepoteza mali mingi hapa, na tujawahi kuona hii kitu. Na ukiangalia leo hakuna mwenye naishi hapa, watu wako huko juu wanaishi kwa shule, na tunataka msaada kwa serikali na miti mingi.
Asante. Na pengine kitu ambacho tunaona kimechangia hapa sana kitu kama hii ni kwamba watu wamekata miti sana na wanaishi sehemu za milimani.
Si unaona forest sasa, tunafuata forest. Tujawahi kuangalia. Unajua hata ukiangalia forest saa hii unaangalia tuko na mpaka ya forest, na bale babu tulipata hapa tuliona, na saa hii niko na mwaka 50.
Na juhudi ambazo mmeweka kujaribu kutafuta mili ya wale ambao walibebwa na hii landslide ni juhudi za aina gani?
Tulitafuta jana, alafu nilikuwa nimefika hapa juu, wa mama barabara hapa ilikuwa jiparamoga, wakatafuta hapa chini. Saa ile wanatafuta, tukapiga nduru hapa, hawa wakatoroka huko chini, na hawa jana kila mtu wako na nini mzuli huko chini.
Thank you very much. One of the residents here just trying to paint for us a picture of the rescue operations that they had yesterday. But currently what we understand is... Asante mzee, asante. Pole sana. Of course, we understand the emotions here are quite high following this tragic incident. We understand, having spoken earlier to Governor of this area, Mr. Lonyangapo, he noted that he is getting support from neighboring counties in terms of infrastructure and even personnel to try and respond to the emergency that is here in West Pokot, of course, to the humanitarian crisis in terms of supplying food and non-food items. Also, in terms of responding with healthcare, a number of ambulances have come in from the neighboring county of Uasin Gishu, and even equipment to try and access these particular places. These particular villages are quite interior. We have been forced to drive close to 4 hours from Makutano, which is the headquarters of West Pokot County, and thereafter about 2 hours to just get to this particular spot. So we understand that the government is putting all measures in place to try and find their way here to look for the 24 persons who are still missing. For now,